From Buicks and Cadillacs to Lincolns and Mustangs, there were hundreds of varieties and types of vehicles at this year's annual Stan Hywet Car Show on Father's Day, June 17th. The show featured antique and collectible vehicles from the 1920s to the present day.
In the 40s and then early in the 50s, they put curb feelers on the cars. And what these were for was when they pulled up to the curb so that they wouldn't, when they scraped their white walls of their tires or their car, they would make a noise by rubbing on the curb, and they knew that they were too close to the curb.
This is a 1920 HCS, which stands for Harry Clayton Stutz. Harry made this on his own for 4 years, from 1920 to 1924. You have heard of Harry Stutz because of the Stutz Bearcat. This was Harry's other car. It is a 50 horsepower Widely engine in it, and it was, like I say, produced from 1920 to 1924. This car was one of the earliest models off the production and was exported to New Zealand in 1921, where I found it in 1997 and brought it back to the United States. The car itself is a low production 2000 serial number 208. The car is identical to the pace car that's in the photograph below of the Indy 500 in 1921. They both came off the assembly line together. This car has a 4-cylinder. The original one had a 6-cylinder prototype in it. So we decaled it up for the 100th anniversary of Stutz last year, and it has been at the Indy track for the 100th anniversary of Indy. So we did have it on the track.
A reminder of
Thank you.
My wife and I originally wanted to purchase a boat, but we didn't have the time to deal with taking a boat to the water, so we thought it would be ideal to buy a vehicle that could be driven to the water as well as driven into it. And this fits the bill.
Do you know how many of these were made?
They made about 4,000 AMPA cars from 1962 to 1968, and there's about 400 left or so. I don't know how many of the 400 float, but this one does.
So you've had this one out in the water then?
Yes, we've had this car in the water several times, inland lakes mostly, and it's made voyages in Rocky River. That was about 2 years ago.
My older sister, Wendy, found the truck on the internet. My dad had had an Aaron's Fox when he was in college, and she knew that he really probably should have another one, and at this point in his life was a better time than when he was in college to put one together. So he went out, looked at it, decided it was pretty good, and bought it and had it shipped out. It was in original condition then. So after that he had it restored over a 5-year period. Everything was taken off, everything was redone, repainted, the entire truck. And so the result's what you see here.
For details on upcoming events at Stan Hywet, call 330-836-5533 or visit www.stanhywet.org.